Hi everyone, I'm going to continue the series of the famous Oriental Rabbanim, and we're in Tunisia today, in Djerba. It's going to be here on Yud Chet Tevet, the 18th of Tevet, naturally the Hilula of a very great rabbi from Djerba in Tunisia. His name was Rabbi Moshe Khalfon, Hakohen, Zecher Tzadik Libracha, among the elite Rabbanim over the last 100 years from Tunisia, 150, 200 years in fact. In fact, his acronym was Ramach, also interestingly enough, and was actually born in the English year 1874 and passed away in 1950, just a week plus after Asar B'Tevet. He was a Kohen, actually by birth. Naturally, his name featured the name Kohen inside it. And his father was actually also a very, very prominent great rabbi in Tunisia, Rabbi Shalom HaKohen. His mother was Rabbanit Tarachi also. And Djerba had a very, very great Torah Jewish community, as I've related over there. Was many, many great Rabbanim. There was a great yeshivot over there also. Rabbi Moshe Cohen would later on become the author of the book, the Pnei Moshe, and Khalfon is a nickname accordingly. His great-grandfather was Rabbi Shaul HaKohen, who was the head of the rabbinical court of Djerba, the Av Bet Din over there, also top position over there. During his youth, Chacham Moshe's family were actually very, very well off financially, and they were known for their great generosity with all the support they gave for the poor, for the elderly. However, as the time went on, when he was a teenager, he was learning a lot of Torah, but the financial situation became slightly more difficult, and he was learning Torah the whole time, but was also able to help working, becoming a book editor part-time, also a copyist, let's just say, in extra time. His father, actually, Chacham Shalom, was author of many, many great Torah books, also including the Nahar Shalom, Hafetz Yakar, and also the Chaim Veshalom also. As I said before, he was head of the rabbinic court in an area in Tunisia called Zerbis, which was next to Djerba, actually. And later on, in the year 1924, it actually moved to Tzfat in, let's just say at the time, mandatory Palestine at the time, where there was a lot of great Rabbanim in the city of Tzfat, one of the 4 holy cities in Israel. So later on, he received Jewish education, actually was taught from his father, and as well as the chief rabbi of Tunisia, which was very, very prominent. His name, the chief rabbi of Tunisia at the time, while he was being educated, was Rabbi Yosef Berebi. Also, I think I did a video about him several months back also. And when his father was actually installed as rabbi of Zerbis, that area, Chacham Moshe was asked by the local community to become a shochet, the prominent shochet of the area, which was obviously however, that came with some baggage also, because it was very hot outside, and especially it's a hot country, so because of the outdoor heat, it had some sort of effect on his health also at the point in time. In the year 1895, when he was aged around 21 years old, Chacham Moshe actually married Rabbanit Masida, who was also the daughter of Rabbi Aharon HaKohen. They had 2 sons, Rabbi Abraham and also Rabbi Shushan, and 4 daughters. The daughter's name was Habiba, Rachel, Amima, and also Plila also. And later on, at a later stage, Chacham Shushan would actually take his father's place as a chief rabbi of Djerba, and was well known for the book, the colossal Torah book that he wrote, the Moshav Eitan. Also, Chacham Avram, his other son, also wrote the famous book, Birkat Abraham, at a very, very young age, actually. However, unfortunately, he passed away, I believe, at the age of 33, following a short illness, which naturally had his father had a strong effect on his father, as he emphasized in some of his memoirs later on. In fact, he was also a relative of the famous Rabbi Avram Palachi, also, who was at the time the head rabbi of Izmir. Izmir was also a very prominent city in the country of Turkey, which also had a great Jewish community over there. Leadership. Let's talk about his phenomenal leadership also. In the year 1917, he was appointed a member, at the time he was aged 43 years old, was appointed a member of the rabbinical court, the Bet Din in Djerba, serving along with Rabbi Tzvi HaKohen, Yehonatan, who I think I did a video on also, and Rabbi Mordechai Emmaus HaKohen also. Obviously, this takes a lot of pressure, a kind of appointment like this, but it's a top job it was. Unfortunately, there was, at the time in 1943, it's related over, I would quote, that unfortunately it affected Tunisia also partly, the Nazi regime did, that in the year 1943, the Nazis actually came to Tunisia. I repeat over what's written here in Wikipedia, which I'm just looking at as a source. The Nazis came to Tunisia and demanded Rabbi Moshe collect 50 kilos of gold in 3.5 hours, they gave him, and hand it over to them. Otherwise, they threatened to bomb the Jewish communities of Djerba and Tunis also. However, the next day, the Allies conquered Tunisia and the Nazis were gone from Tunisia. That 35 kilos of gold that the Jews managed to collect was, thank God, not handed over to the hands of those terrible people. He had a very positive, within regards to Zionism, he had a very positive perspective to it. I'll quote what was written. He was an enthusiastic supporter of the Zionistic movement. Among other things, he decreed that Israel's Independence Day be celebrated for 3 days, apparently. It was his writings that predate the state of Israel are full of detailed political plans, not only regarding Zionist ideas, but also expanding upon his cosmopolitan ideas, such as a plan to establish a League of Nations and a world court, a Jewish court, I would assume also, both of which could have headquarters potentially in Jerusalem. He saw this as a grandeur thing at the time. It's actually, when he was young and living inside Djerba, he actually purchased land in Israel itself. One of the things that the Peleyuetz, a book written by Rabbi Eliezer Papo, says it's very important, it's very great to purchase land in Israel, and that's something he did at a later time. In fact, his son at a later stage, Chacham Shushan, traveled to Tunis to arrange the necessary visas for Rabbi Moshe to actually move at a later stage before he would pass away to Israel. But unfortunately, his health deteriorated, and he actually passed away before getting the chance to moving to Eretz Yisrael. This was in the year 1950, naturally around 18th of Tevet. He passed away 18th Tevet in the year 1950, and tens of thousands of people actually attended his funeral, which was a huge amount of people here in Tunisia. It's actually interesting. He was buried in Djerba. However, in the year 2006, they removed his body and they buried him, let's say a second burial, in Har HaMenuchot in Jerusalem. This was in the year 2006, about 17 years plus from the time of recording this video, and it was utilized there at the time by Rabbi Chacham Ovadia Yosef, also famous great chief rabbi of Israel also. He wrote many works, Rabbi Moshe did, apparently approximately as many as 80 works, Torah books he did, which had actually been published. That's a great amount of people did, covering all the different parts of Judaism, these works that he did. Many of the works only unfortunately remained in manuscript. He's best known actually for two of his works in Jewish law, in Halacha, when we're talking about code of Jewish law. The response, the Sho'ei Ve'Nishal, that was a collection of more than 3,000 responses he penned, and this is actually in a staggering 8 volumes. And there was also another book, another composition he wrote, which is called the Brit Kahuna, which is a compilation of various customs of the Jewish community of Djerba and its surroundings, following the order, the Shulchan Aruch, naturally, the code of Jewish law, naturally. And among his works that remain in manuscript is something called the Tzedek Rahamim, also Tzedek Rahamim, which I recommend everyone to look for these things online or go to a local bookshop and purchase it or read it if there's a library, a synagogue that you guys go to. So it's going to be his Hilula here. At the time of recording, it's going to be tomorrow. It's going to be on Shabbat Parshat Vayechi here as we culminate the Sefer Bereshit at the time of recording here in 2023. And the precise English date where he passed away was the 7th of January in 1950. He passed away at around the age of 75 years old. As I said before, his rabbis included his father was Rabbi Shalom HaKohen, and also Rabbi Yosef Berebi. Also, many great compositions he worked in. And let's learn more about the great Chacham over here. I'm going to wish you all because at the time of recording, this is now actually Thursday evening. Wishing you all a good Shabbat. Please hit the like button wherever you're watching this from. And please share the videos. Watch over all the other previous videos I've done already, or I think this is around the 130th installment already. And wishing you all a great day here from Israel, and learn more about the great Sephardi Rabbanim of yesteryear. Take care.